Welcome back to On the Slab, exclusively on the Dynamo Podcast Network. The King is back. The return of the King. Here I am again after my 2-week sabbatical, and I'm joined by the newest member of the gang. It's the G-Man, Greg Flanagan. How are you, my man?
Big money transfer.
That's it. Well, we're sharing you with Ted. He's very, very generous, I must say. But we couldn't.
Top fella is Ted.
He is. But myself and Ian were so impressed with how you've been helping us out. We couldn't but not have you on the team, you know?
As I told you, nice little bar in the corner, bottle of Grey Goose, bag of ice, we'll be grand.
I'm working on it. I'm working on the boss, you know? So hopefully you get the DPN to pay for it, you know?
Yeah, wait till we actually get a recording where the three of us are in one room.
Yes, that's going to be fun. And there will be goose at that. There will be, I promise.
Loads of it.
Anyway, so in my absence, the lads have been doing some fantastic episodes, and tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. It's going to be not really a horror as such, is it?
Depends. Would be for younger people.
For kids, yeah. So it's not Goosebumps, don't worry.
Well, I'll give you a funny one. I was sitting here with the young fella. He's only 5 the other day, and we were having lunch while Addison was in bed, and he turned around and was like, "Can we watch Ghostbusters?" And you know what? I was like, "Yes, son. Yes, we can."
Yeah, you feel great when they do that, don't you? It's like when Kerry watched American Werewolf in London with me, and she loved it. She watched it the second time. I was like, "Yes."
Little proud moments.
Yeah, and Jaws. She loves Jaws, so I was so happy, like, you know.
I was only saying to Ian on the last one there. I was watching Jaws. I watched it right up till sort of where they get on the orca, and he was in the room watching. He's like, "That's a big shark." I was like, "Yeah, that's about as much as you're gonna watch now today."
That's great. But so we're talking about Ghostbusters today, the first one, which is
the real one.
The real one, and I mean, let's be honest, a lot of guys our age and a little bit younger maybe love this film. It's an absolute gem of a film, isn't it? It's just
it's amazing.
Yeah.
All right, some of it doesn't really hold up nowadays, but like for the time when this came out, it was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't even around when the 80s, wasn't it?
80, yeah, 86 or something like that. Yeah. So you weren't even born, no?
Nope.
God, I was 9, I think.
Making you feel old now.
Yeah, fuck's sake, man.
No, but this was one of my favorite films growing up.
Yeah.
Like Bill Murray was just a hero. I used to watch. If Bill Murray was in it, I'd watch it.
Yeah.
Like I think I must have watched Groundhog Day about 1,000 times growing up.
Yeah, that makes sense when you think about it. How did you get out? How did you get over?
I didn't. It's still on the telly.
But yeah, I mean, like, what a cast to get together. Like, when you think about it.
Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Harold Ramis.
Harold Ramis.
Poor old Harold.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
It's just a shame he wasn't around to see the newest part they're bringing out.
That's done by his son, is it?
I think it is, yeah. I haven't looked too much into it. I've only literally seen the 2 ads that they brought out because they didn't reveal much in the first one, just the car.
Looks interesting though, doesn't it?
I think so, yeah. I'm looking forward to going to see it now. Hopefully I'll be able to get back to the cinema when it's out.
You will. So, But so what we're doing is we're talking about the original one tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, that was out a long time ago, but I mean, who was it? Dan Aykroyd came up with the idea initially, wasn't
it? Was it not Harold Ramis that came up with it?
Wait, look her up there for a second.
I thought it was Harold Ramis.
I thought between the two of them, maybe.
I think Harold Ramis actually wrote the
screenplay.
Screenplay, I think.
Yeah.
Dan Aykroyd came up with it.
Yeah. So
Dan Aykroyd came up with it. Columbia Pictures, Ghost Corps, so it's now owned by Sony.
Wow.
Brought it out, and it went from there. Yeah.
I mean, I think it was meant to be a lot darker than it was.
It was 100% meant to be a lot darker.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But like I'd say for the time, like that was probably a decent, probably would have went down as a decent horror movie with some comedy in it. Like,
Yeah.
I suppose
mean,
when you cast Bill Murray, you're gonna get comedy anyway.
Of course.
Yeah.
And of course, we forgot Ernie Hudson.
Good old Ernie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ernie. What we were actually good old Ernie. Good lad.
Yes.
Actually, he's just been in a few things that I've been watching recently now as well.
Oh, what was he in?
I rewatched The Warriors there. Or no, sorry, not The Warriors, The Crow.
Yeah, he's the copper in The Crow, isn't he?
He's the cop in The Crow, yeah. He's brilliant.
I think he's famous more so for Ghostbusters though, of course.
Oh yeah, 100%, yeah. Well, The Crow is one of those movies that a lot of people would forget about.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you put it up against Ghostbusters, yeah, for definite.
Yeah. It's just a different movie, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Good film all the same. But that's not what we're talking about tonight.
No.
So of course
you'll have to check out Retrotainment for that one.
Yes, you can have that one, boys. That's definitely for you.
Yeah.
So it starts off, doesn't it start off with in the big kind of hotel?
You
only watched it, man. Come on, tell me.
Yeah. So Ghostbusters, it starts off with them in the college or in the school, and then they get a call to go to the old library.
That's right. And all the books are flying around, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're like, something's happening, and they're like, we've got to go because they're doing a study on a few people in there, and then you see Bill Murray obviously chatting up the girl, and he's like, we've got to go.
Funny.
And so they head down to, I'm imagining it's a college, it could be just the general library. And they go in and they're like, where is it? And she's like, it's downstairs, like full body apparition. And they go down and they're going along, the books are stacked up, and they're going along with a little meter stick and all, and they're like, yeah, this is happening, that's happening. And then I love Dan Aykroyd when he first sees the ghost, and she's there, she's floating, and she's putting the books back, and they're talking. Yeah. She's like,
yeah.
He just turns around and walks off. And then Bill Murray comes out with his shit. I'd imagine that this was pure ad-libbed off thing where he comes over and he's like, hey, you. And the ghost goes for him. And they're like, and they all leg it. Pure genius.
It's almost like, not necessarily slapstick, but that kind of comedy, like, you know.
It's like what were the three stupid fellas called?
The Three Stooges.
Yeah, that kind of comedy.
Yeah.
And it was literally done like that for the start of it.
Yeah, and even the music, the weird music is cool in it as well.
Yeah, but like, there's a lot of cringe-worthy moments in this one now when you watch it back. Now, I'd say when it came out, like, I still love it as nostalgia. Yeah. But like, I think if I was to show this to Finn in 5-10 years, you look at it going, that's shit. You know what I mean? Some of the graphics in it and all are meh.
Yeah.
So the lad,
sorry.
It's just like, for the time, I'd say it was absolutely top drawer CGI work.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Like when the way they did Slimer and all. Yes,
like then they obviously the lads set up. They get sacked from the college's money, so they like Dan Aykroyd, when they go to find the old firehouse that they're gonna rent to be their office, he's like, we'll take it. I wonder, does the fireman's pole work? How is the fireman's pole not going to work? Do you know what I mean? Where's it gonna go?
Yeah, it just cut it out like or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's brilliant, and they get the old car, and like they do it all up. Huh?
Ecto 1.
Yeah, that's a classic. Like that's as famous as the DeLorean, I'd say.
Oh, it is. It is. If not more, you know, like you can get those. Did you ever see you can get them in lovely die-cast. It's like, I don't know what size they are, but they're say about that size, and they're beautiful. The detail on them. You can get the DeLorean and you can get Ecto 1, and they look absolutely spectacular. Like
little collectible options, yeah. I'll leave that one to you.
Yeah.
Not so much for me.
But they're beautiful. Look, you get all the detail. You know what I mean?
Some of them I've seen. Some of them when I was over in Universal, they had certain collectibles over there, and I was looking at them going, if I collected something or collected stuff, I'd be broke.
Yeah.
I'm already broke, but I'd be even broker.
Even more broke. It happens. That does happen, you know. But there was a cool, as I said, eerie, strange little feeling about this film, wasn't there?
I think they tried to make it in a way that they didn't know whether it wanted to be fully horror, comedy, what do you call it, black horror or whatever.
Yeah, black comedy.
Yeah. I think they just went with it then, and it was just like, we'll see what happens. Because as far as I know, a lot of this only came off sort of 1 or 2 shoots.
Right. Okay.
So they knew that it was gold. And then obviously we're introduced to Sigourney Weaver in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
Rick Moranis as well.
He's brilliant in this.
Rick Moranis is brilliant in everything.
Yeah. And of course, he stopped acting.
Yeah, it's an absolute shame. Now he came back. He's doing a couple of movies now.
That's right. As kids are growing up now, and
which was good to see. Now it's a shame. I think his wife passed away or something, so he stopped, or she was sick or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That he stopped completely, but like he was at the height of his powers, sort of the 80s, the early 90s, like Honey I Shrunk the Kids and things like that.
A very recognizable actor.
Yeah, well, I'd say he could have played some dark horror characters really well.
Yeah,
because he plays that creepy kind of thing. Like he's really creepy in this.
Yes,
where he keeps chatting Sigourney Weaver up, and he's like, "No, just leave me alone."
You could imagine him in something like 1 Hour Photo, couldn't you?
That's the one movie I was thinking of where Robin Williams was.
Yeah,
maybe Insomnia as well.
Yeah.
Again, another Robin Williams classic.
Absolutely.
But or actually, do you know what he would have been really good in? The Number 23.
That's right. Yeah, actually,
the Jim Carrey one.
Jim Carrey, he would have been cool in that actually.
Yeah, like he has that kind of voice, annoying kind of look as well.
Yeah.
Like I think he would have took a lot of Jim Carrey's parts, or the two of them would have been battling for the same kind of.
Well, yeah, I would still give the edge to Jim though.
Yeah, it's his facial expressions that gets him a lot of his
roles.
Yeah, but no, don't get me wrong, he's a good actor as well.
Yeah.
Not taking that away from him, but I think the two of them probably would have battled it out, had a good battle for a lot of the parts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so obviously then, as you can imagine, Sigourney Weaver's house is haunted, or building's haunted by Gozer.
Yeah, great name.
It's just random. I don't know how they come up with these. Like,
I know.
Yeah. And then the Keymaster. But like it just goes on and ad libs into it. But like their first big call, they get called out to the hotel to catch Slimer.
That's where I jumped the gun a bit there.
Yeah, they get called out to catch Slimer, and they're up in the hallways with the proton packs. And I love Harold Ramis's thing there, don't cross the streams. Why? Because all the molecules in your body will evaporate and cease life. Okay, you might have told us that before we built these. Might have been a good idea. And then they go off trying to catch Slimer. Dan Aykroyd's the first to see him, and Slimer goes through him.
Slimed me. Slimed me.
Bill Murray sees him and panics, and he's like, "I need help." But like what they do to that ballroom is just ridiculous.
It's brilliant.
Yeah. They absolutely wreck it. And it looks like there's a wedding or something about to go in.
Yeah, some big function, yeah.
And they come out, your man doesn't want to pay them, and he's like, okay, I'll just leave the ghost there.
Put it back in.
Simple as that. You don't want to pay me, I'll just undo the work.
Right.
But like, even the animatronics that was done for Gozer here when he pops up and takes over Rick Moranis' character, his house. They were like, someone let a leopard loose.
Yeah.
What? What kind of leopard could do that to a door? But Yeah, it's brilliant. She gets possessed.
Does she become Zool, is it?
Yeah. And then like Gozer is the keymaster, so he takes over Rick Moranis, and the two of them are supposed to do the deed and cause the end of the world.
Go on, Elric, huh?
Yeah. Well, he tried his hardest as a human. He might as well do it as while she's possessed, I suppose.
She was very sexy in that one. Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah. It's a big different look for her from this to Aliens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but sure. Look, I've seen worse.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. It's brilliant, and then the antics along the way. The single cringiest ad you'll ever see on a TV. If you have a ghost, well, we can help.
Ghostbusters.
But like, I love that you see that in the second one as well. The ad for it comes up in the second one, and then the ad is actually in the ad for the new one.
Is it?
Yeah, in that newest trailer they dropped.
Oh, brilliant!
That ad is in it now. I don't know if you can hear it or you just see it on the telly.
See it maybe.
Yeah, but I'm like, they went on from here to spiral into amazing things.
Yeah,
like there's no point in going on about the movie if you haven't seen it at this stage. You need to go and check it out. It's on Netflix.
Yeah,
I mean, and I'd say every single person, or nearly every single person in the country, has Netflix.
Yeah, but let's just say that without going on about the film, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
That's the second one.
No, it's not. He's in the first one.
Yeah, I tried to get you there. Tried to get you.
I love Stay Puft. You know.
Yeah, that was the Marshmallow Man.
I love that though. Like you see it going around, you know the way it's walking around and it's all happy, but then they hit it with the proton, and it
gets angry.
The big angry head in it, like.
The other way, did you notice his face in that though? Right, kind of reminds you of. Do you remember? Have you ever seen Shrek?
Yes.
When the little gingerbread man gets angry.
Oh yeah.
He has that same kind of face, and you're like, yeah, definitely paying homage to
little
that.
nods there, yeah.
Yeah. But no, Stay Puft was arguably the most famous part of this movie. That or Slimer.
Yeah. As well as like we were saying, I think because it was filmed in the 80s, and if you look at it now, it may not have aged very well in parts, but some of the ghosts look like darker than I think that they were meant to be portrayed because it's the way it's aged.
The woman in the library, definitely.
Yeah, you know.
She definitely, like, that's definitely, because I was sitting watching with Finn and he was like, that's scary. I thought this was supposed to be funny.
Yeah, well, there you go.
But like, he's seen Slimer on, obviously, on other things, and you see he was mass produced as the face of Ghostbusters.
Yeah, he was.
So he knew who it was, and he was all right with that one. I was like, there's the Marshmallow Man.
Isn't it great though? You can watch it with your kids. Like it's that kind of film. Anyone could watch it. Like
anybody. Yeah, at this stage, like I'd watch it with Addison now. She wouldn't understand it, but she's only 2.
Yeah,
but like I wouldn't have a problem with it being on.
No,
where like you can't sit there and like I might introduce him to Beetlejuice around Halloween.
Yeah,
another movie that you can kind of get away with.
That's great. Yeah, but no, but that's a lot darker now. That is a lot darker in tone and approach.
Yeah, he mightn't understand some of it, but he might find it funny.
Just hoping. But yeah, so I mean that again, this is one of those kind of films that just elicits good memories for me.
Oh yeah, like I remember the first time I seen this. I was sitting in my family are off from my ma's family are off from Lockmanstown, just there beside the hospital, and I remember watching it for the first time there on an old TV. You know, the big old chunky things.
Yeah.
That weighed about 40 stone. I remember watching it there while there was it must have been around Christmas time or something, because there was loads of family there. And I remember watching it on a Sunday evening. And I was sitting there just glued to the TV. The chair pulled up because I couldn't hear it properly because everyone was talking. I was like, yeah.
Brilliant.
Not a clue what was going on. I think it was the RTE big movie or something.
I love the big movie or the big movie club they have, you know, this kind of shit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was it wouldn't have been a big movie because that would have been a Saturday. It was on. I think it was nearly sure it was a Sunday, but
Sunday matinee or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on and I was watching it. It was the first time I seen it.
And
And
you loved it straight away.
yeah, my uncle that lives over there, he used to give me a lot of VHSs. He used to buy them and all around the place. He used to get them for little to nothing. So he'd watch them and then give them to me. And it was he'd given me that and Ghostbusters 2. So I went straight home and watched Ghostbusters 2. I was like, yes.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we were saying Ghostbusters 2 is good, but it's not as good as the original.
No, not even nearly. In
It's
terms
enjoyable.
of an actual story, no. But a lot of people, I can see why a lot of people would say 2 is better than 1. In terms of if you just watch it just for entertainment, like it's like a lot of people say Gremlins 2 is better than Gremlins 1.
No way.
Yeah. But
that's just me. Although I do love Gremlins 2, don't get me wrong.
Gremlins 2 is great crack.
I love it.
But yeah, no, the first one of Gremlins is just top drawer, like.
Isn't it?
Yeah. As light-hearted horror goes, like you're not gonna get much better than this.
No. And we weren't gonna bring this up, but let everyone knows I fucking hate remakes and reboots.
I don't even count this.
Right. But like, why did they do that? Like, they brought out the one with all, not that I have any problems with all females, nothing. But if it's not broke, don't fix it. That's the way I look at it.
The reason they brought it out was, remember it became a big feminist kind of movement thing around that time, where they made all the movies that were all cast with all men. They tried to be like, yeah, well, we're just gonna reboot that with all females. Don't get me wrong, some of them worked.
Yeah.
This, not so much.
No, you can't improve on something that was that good. And it had everything.
Yeah, laughs, horror, scares,
romance, even.
Yeah. It had 2 forms of romance. It had Rick Moranis chasing Sigourney Weaver, and then it had Bill Murray getting Sigourney Weaver.
Getting her, yeah.
Yeah.
But there was a great you could tell there was a great vibe between all of the actors in this film,
Yeah, it seemed like you can tell, like, if there's normally if there's trouble making movies, you can kind of see it come out through the film.
Yeah.
This one looked like the lads had great crack. I'd say they had absolute great crack.
Yeah. I'd say I would love to be a fly on the wall for that session. That filming.
Could you imagine though the after session there with Dan Aykroyd, Rick Moranis, Bill Murray, and Harold Ramis?
Wow.
I'd say you'd have pissed yourself laughing at least 5 times.
Easily.
No, it's just a great movie. Like, for 1984, and now they're bringing out what is part 3 essentially.
Yeah. I really, really hope it works. I never wanted a film to work more than this next Ghostbusters.
There's a few films I wanted to work more, but they didn't really. But I won't get into that here. But as this year goes, this is one that I'm holding a lot of hope for. Yeah. I love how they built this new one.
Yeah.
Where they didn't show much in the first one. They only showed the car, and then they dropped the trailer there a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
And now it's nearly time. Like, I'd love to have said, like, Ghostbusters 2 came out in 1989. I still wasn't even born. Do you know what I mean?
I went to the cinema for that.
Yeah, like, I'll actually get to go. Like, I didn't go to the cinema to see that all girls one. Not a bollocks that.
No.
I had the disfortunate pleasure of watching it once, and I really don't understand how people find Melissa McCarthy funny.
Thank you so much. She's fucking useless.
Like, I used to enjoy remember that show she was in, Mike and Molly?
Mike and Molly, yeah.
I used to enjoy everything in that show bar her.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same kind of joke over and over again.
But you notice there's a few actors like that. Like Seth Rogen is another one.
I like Seth Rogen.
I like him, but he's typecast now.
Yeah. It's if it's not a stoner movie, it's not happening for him.
Yeah.
Or it's voiceover might be the only thing.
Yeah. So, but but she's very annoying. Very. Another one is your woman. Is it Rebel Wilson?
Yeah, she's the exact same.
I can't stand her.
Yeah. She blew up after, was it Pitch Perfect or whatever?
Yeah.
And I have no like Zoe loved her around that time when she was bringing out all those movies, and I was like, she's the same character in them all. Now, I have said on multiple shows, if you have a trope that you fit into, stick with it and ride it, ride it till the death.
And some of them
make your money. Yeah, but
here's us slagging people like that, and I mean, like Vincent Price and all those boys did the same.
But they had a different. They could actually act.
Yes, very true.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you turn to Vincent Price and said you're doing a drama movie, I'm sure you get away with it.
Yeah.
Melissa McCarthy can only do one type of thing. Rebel Wilson can only be one type of character.
Screaming and shouting and looking stupid.
Yeah, pretty much. Like that. Look, like they even with that in terms of go back to horror. Robert Englund, Kane Hodder, Tony Todd. They've all done the same kind of movies over and over through their career.
Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But if you put them into a different situation, they could probably get out of it.
Yeah.
With their acting abilities.
Because they could, as you said, they can act. They actually can act. Like, you know?
Yeah. Like there's not very many things you see Kane Hodder in where he doesn't have a mask on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Which is great. But like I'd say he can act his way out. Like he's in things that he's the killer in, and he might have a cameo role as himself. But you never see him do too much. Like they know what their limits were.
Yeah.
Where these ones are getting into big Hollywood movies. Like Ghostbusters, that female Ghostbusters was a huge Hollywood movie.
But that's, you know what? There's no accounting for taste, and I mean, I can guarantee you, most of the original fans wouldn't have gone to see that.
No, like I didn't go see it. I watched it with Zoe. We rented it out or something. It was a lot of. I sat there for about an hour and a half going. Oh, this better be worth it.
And it wasn't.
No, it was not. So I literally, when Zoe went home that night, then I watched the original one. I was sitting there going,
you had to cleanse that shit out of your system.
I was like, I'm happy again now.
Yeah, that erased that from memory.
No, like if you want lighthearted horror comedy, this is it. This Gremlins and a couple others.
Yes,
they are, that we'll get into on another show. But
we will.
Yeah, this has a bit of everything.
Yeah. So let us do our slab rating, our slab of meat.
Oh, do you want to go first?
Okay, I will. Okay. It's a brilliant film. I absolutely love it. As you said, it hasn't aged well in parts. There's nothing. That's not a knock against it.
No.
But I would give it 4 slabs of meat. I think.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going. Like it doesn't deserve a 5.
No.
And like some of the jokes now that are in it are a bit distasteful as well.
Yeah.
It's probably the reason why you see 2 on the telly more than you'll see 1.
Yeah.
And things like that. But like 4 is perfect.
Yeah.
But like you show that to say a now probably 15 or 16-year-old, they'll score that probably a 1.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a difference in class when you watch movies that were made back then and actually watch the movie and not the way it looks now.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people nowadays probably wouldn't watch Scarface or anything like that.
They're missing out.
Yeah. They're classic. They're called classics for a reason.
Yeah. It's rare to get classics nowadays. It really is.
There's not many.
No.
And when they are, they're absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah. That's the truth. If you get modern classics, they are unbelievable.
Yeah.
But
like
that's
I think the last probably modern classic that I can think of was probably American Gangster.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Well, no, there probably is other ones that I can think, but that's the one I can think of off the top of my head.
Off your head, yeah. But even still, like, I mean, yeah, like the likes, even Lord of the Rings, you know, like they were epic.
Oh yeah, they were unbelievable.
They were good as well, like, you know.
They're ones you can sit and rewatch. Like I look forward to when Finn's a little bit older and I can actually sit and watch those movies with him.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to ease him into watching movies that aren't sort of all cartoons now. Like for some reason or another, he loves The Nightmare Before Christmas.
It's a little bit of horror to it.
I hate it. I think it's the most overrated movie.
I agree with you.
Yeah, Oh, it's desperate.
That was
That's
a
what,
fan.
like I look at the classics, like you're doing with Kerry now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're doing with Kerry, watching the older movies now with him. I look forward to when he's a little bit older to be able to do that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But
But sure, look, we will end our episode now with the 4 slabs out of 5. 5? 5? What the hell is 5?
I don't know. We'll make it a new word.
4 slabs out of 5.
Yeah. Carl can't talk anymore, so
I can't
we're going
talk
5.
anymore. 5. Oh god. Look, this was just a fun little episode that we wanted to do about a film we both love. So
it can't all be dark horror.
Exactly, because we love it all. We love it all. All right. So for now, we're gonna leave the slab and the crypt and all this kind of stuff, and we'll be back with you next Friday, won't we?
Sure will.
So for now, it's bye from King Woe, and it's goodbye from the G-Man.
All the best.
Out of here.